Religiously, understand the 7 principles of hell. You understand the 7 demons within you. You understand that whole concept. It's a whole metaphysical concept. We ain't go over that, but anyway.
Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble morning. Continue to have a blessed and humble day. This y'all shorty Racheal. I want to welcome all of y'all to the Writers for Life and Humble brings you to Let's Talk About It podcast, y'all. Man, what is going on around us? We're gonna have some random topics, random thoughts, man. There's a lot going on. TikTok is going crazy, right? About what Trump is saying and much more. All right, the Carmelo Anthony situation. It seems. Well, before we get into these TikTok videos, right? Before we get into anything, right? How is everybody doing, right? I want to, give a big shout out to everybody who's been showing a shorty support, right? Much love from Philly, man. Welcome to Philly, baby. I don't know where y'all been watching from, right here in Philly. The weather's been bipolar. I don't know if it's bipolar where y'all at, man. Between the weather, the rain, the humidity, then the cold. It's like, man, this weather doesn't know what it wants to do. But I've been talking to a lot of people around me. We've been talking about these little conversations, these things that Trump has been saying, what's going on between WW3, right? Which we're right in the middle of. We've been in the middle of this for a minute, right? I just don't think people have noticed it. There is a lot going on around us, right? Some people are struggling. Their checks are being cut off. Some people are not able to get welfare because they're saying that their income is too high. It's so many things going on, right? But let's start off with the Carmelo situation, guys, right? Because I'm not going to be on this channel hours and hours today, right? He's been a little under the weather, but a lot of people have been talking to me about the Carmelo situation. It seems like he is being charged, he's being indicted, right? It's messed up. Instead of coming at the young bull, right? Like everybody's been doing. I've had my opinions here and there, right, when it comes to Carmelo Anthony situation. Shout out to Miss April Showers, because she let me know a little more about what was happening outside. Besides the incident that we know, the video that's being talked about, the young boy stabbing the other football player, right? It seems like, according to a lot of people, it seems that Carmelo Anthony was getting bullied outside of the school, right? And if he was getting bullied outside of the school, right, there's so many ways to go about this situation. Coming from a mother that has been in a situation like this, right? Because I'm someone that has sat here, that has had her ups and downs with the school, right? I sued the shit out of the school district of Philadelphia for the negligence that they had with my son, right? And I feel as though that a lot of parents need to do the same thing. Like, if the school is not doing what they got to do, right? And there's teachers in these schools, right? We've reviewed and reacted to so many videos where teachers don't even give a fuck. Some of these teachers influence the shit that's happening in these schools, right? But, I'm a parent that's been fighting the system to, help her child out. And the same way that I was able to kind of help my child out, and I'm going to say kind of, right, because my son is still adjudicated, right? We may have won a battle, but we didn't win the war. There are so many kids out here going through the same situation, right? Kids getting bullied, and the kids don't know when to react, how to react, right? And they end up reacting in the worst of times. This is why I'm saying that we need to have these conversations with our kids. If Carmelo Anthony was being bullied, kids don't think, right? And we live in a world where either you take them out, or you get taken out, right? According to the rules of the street. So if the parents would have found a way to fight the system, right, Carmelo Anthony would have probably ended up, in a situation like an adjudication or something like that. But I don't think it would have gotten this far. To the point where a young boy would have stabbed. But see, then again, we don't know what it really happened, right? To get to this what really happened to the that drove these two young men to get to this situation, right? We're all going by he say, she say, by reports and stuff like that. Um, it seems Carmelo Anthony's family doesn't have the funds, I guess, to. I'm not sure if it's to pay the lawyer or what's going on because they're talking about that his family is broke. Hopefully, everything turns out okay, but I doubt it. Because, like I tell people, even though Texas is a stand your ground law, right? They're going to look at it as, right, because this is a school. You don't bring no weapons to school. This is a school event. You don't bring those weapons to a school event, right? No matter how people want to put it or how you want to look at it, right? Um, they're going to look at it as it was premeditated. Um, if there was a way that we could be in our kids' lives 24/7, right? Damn, I know as a parent, I would. But we can't be in their lives 24/7. So the best thing that we could do is try to teach our kids, try to get them into programs, get them off these streets, right? Instead of, you know, pointing the finger and blaming, especially in a situation that I wasn't in, I want to try to bring solutions to the table. What can we do, right, to avoid future situations like this amongst our children, amongst our teens, amongst our youth, all right? What can we do to prevent situations, right, where, like in the situation of Carmelo Anthony, right, to happen again with our kids within school premises, right? What type of rules can we put? I mean, there's no weapons allowed in the school, but somehow, some way, Carmelo was there with a weapon, right? Um, Once again, like, write down in the comments down below, right? Because for those of you that catch the replay, I know nobody's probably watching this right now. I just started this live, right? And it's only 5:42 in the morning here in North Philadelphia, right? So write down for those of you that catch the replay, what type of solutions, right, can we bring to these school boards, right, to these politicians, so that we can make a change and a difference within our schools, right? Will they listen? It takes a minute, but changes can be made and a difference can be done, right? Because when you look at like the situation with us parents, right, we got together, we're trying to get these cameras into these schools, right, so that we can see, what's actually happening within our schools when our kids are having these altercations, why our kids, are unaliving themselves, why our kids are taking other kids' lives, to see what's going on with the teachers. Why should we be giving these teachers so much privacy, right? When, you know, for 6 to 8 hours out of the day, right? For 5 days out of the week, when these teachers have not shown us that we should give them as much privacy with our kids, right? We need better cameras within these schools, outside. It seems like we need more CCT cameras within these school events that we're having out here, right? And it's a miracle that people didn't have their phones pulled out on a school event like this, because normally people, especially when fights break out, that's the one thing that's got me, in this whole, like, I'm over here like, damn. And not once did anybody pull a phone out, right? When the argument started, when the altercation started, I'm like, that's a miracle. We live in an era where everybody pulls their phones out. Everybody. So that's all I wanted to say, right? When it comes to the Carmelo Anthony situation, we need to find solutions, right, on how we can prevent future situations like this with our youth within these schools and school events. All right. So if y'all got any solutions, write them down below. Let us shorty know how you feel and what you think, right? I do got the petition in my description box from change.org and move.org. From change, yeah, from change, my bad, and move from moveon.org. So there's two petitions down below in the description box that you can sign to get more cameras within our schools, more security within our schools, more background checks within our schools for, when it comes to our teachers and much more. So make sure y'all check the petition down below, right? If you have a zip code, you're able to sign the petition and much more. So we're gonna get this podcast started, right? I was gonna drop the link, but I doubt anybody's gonna come up, right, and talk on these topics. So, I'll leave that for next time. But let's get this podcast started, right? I just wanted to get that out the way, right, when it came to the Carmelo Anthony situation. Damn, I just messed up my hair. I don't know what I got. I got allergies, but my eyes have been itching, everything. So we're gonna get into these TikTok videos, right? We're gonna be watching TikTok videos that, to some people y'all might call cabs. It might make you laugh, right? It might make some of y'all question reality and much more. But TikTok is going wild with the Trump situation. I saved a few videos, so we're just gonna go through some of these videos, right? Review and react to them, man. If they funny, man. If they not, man, if they make you question them, hey, say what you gotta say. I surely want to hear what you thinking and how you feeling about these situations. Well, we got this right here, right? So Trump said this in listen, I don't know what's up with Trump. I'm guessing that he's getting fed up, right, with the people asking him questions, right? They're asking him questions, right, to things they should already know. Like they should already have the answers to these questions they're asking Trump. Sometimes I'll be like, yo, did they just ask me? They just asked me. Like, what goes through people's heads? I really don't know, yo. Oh shit, we got the OG in the building, Straight Godzilla 22. Man, blessings, OG guys. Make sure y'all go check out Straight Godzilla 22. Let me give y'all a heads up before y'all go check him out. My OG is like one of them uncles, right, that y'all have within your community that comes and visits you in the parties and stuff like that, man. There's no filters, right, in his mouth, no hairs in his tongue. He is raw in a cut, and his jokes, listen, his jokes are shot out. So if you cannot handle that, I suggest to not go to his channel because, listen, it's going to be curtains. But you can't help but to love OG. Straight Godzilla 22, Ronin, man. He be bringing up the toughest conversations, all right? You got to love him, yo. He is funny as hell. And he be bringing up some interesting conversations and some interesting topics, yo. Like, listen. Make sure y'all go, yo, listen, y'all won't be disappointed. But let's get right into this, right? A lot of people were shocked when they heard Trump cuss, man. It was like, was there any president out there? Have y'all ever heard anybody in politics cursing like this? Listen, when the cameras go off, I keep telling y'all that these politicians are like you and me. All right? We have to know when to be professional and when we don't have to be, all right? But definitely when we do have to be professional, right? So what's crazy is that y'all really, I don't know how some people really think that these politicians, right, are the same way, right, behind the cameras that they are in front of the cameras. In front of the cameras, they gotta be very professional. It's their job. It's like when you go to work, are you going to behave the same way you behave within your community or in your house? No, you're not. Because some people are loud as shit. Imagine somebody being, hey, yo, you, I told you to go get that over there. You imagine that shit? Like, come on, man. But yeah, I guess Trump let it out. Like, these motherfuckers out here asking me some dumbass questions. Like, are you fucking serious? You don't know? You don't already know the answer to that fucking? Don't ask me that shit again. Like, man, the hood came out of Trump. So here we go again, right? Now everybody's like, oh, the grid's gonna go down. What are we gonna do? I'm like, every time somebody hears the grid go down, people was talking about, let's get these little things. Yeah, you're supposed to stack up. You're supposed to have a plan B, but not go as crazy as y'all go, right? Like when y'all go online on these social media platforms, I'm be looking like, is it the end of the world? We can't survive with no lights, no phones, no nothing. Shit, I guess we're gonna have to start pulling out some books. I got a collection of them, Johns. I'm like, daughters, you ready for story time? Start a campfire on some real shit. Like, damn, it's gonna be nice where we're gonna have to be sleeping outside. It's too hot in the fucking house, yo. We outside with it. Man, we're gonna be sleeping with the bees, the insects, the spiders, the motherfucking rats. I'll be on top of my baby daddy head. I'm like, oh shit, baby daddy, you gotta protect me. I'm sitting on your head all night. I need saving. Yo, I can't, man. But let's listen to this. Let's listen to this.
I told them that what I want you to do is build your electric generating plant right next to your plant. There's a separate building connected. And they said, wow, you're kidding. And I said, no, I'm not kidding. You don't have to hook into the grid, which is old and, could be taken out. If it's taken out, they wouldn't have any way to get any electricity.
Things are weird right now. They're just super weird right now. I don't care who you are, how old you are. Everybody's thinking the same thing. The shit's getting weird around here right now. So what are you going to do when you wake up in the morning and your lights are out? You have no power. You can't charge anything. The grid has gone down. Are you following me? That's why I grabbed one of these. This is...
Dude, okay, you're talking about these things. Okay. Now everybody's going crazy buying this, man. I mean, we've been told about this for years, right? For those of y'all, like, listen, it may not happen when our parents, our grandparents, them crazy people that y'all call crazy. Are they crazy now? Do they seem so crazy now? What they were talking about, does it seem such, as much of a theory now? They don't sound like theories now. They don't seem like conspiracies no more, do they? It's not a theory until it comes to reality, right? It's not a conspiracy until you actually see it, right? So, shit. I mean, but what's funny is, right, these ships were lining up since the pandemic. We're in 2025 and people are just noticing this. But for the past few years, people have been talking about, have y'all noticed the ships? Have y'all noticed this happening within our communities? Have y'all noticed the soldiers, within our communities? Have y'all read? I'm like, yeah. But people don't want to see it because they're living in a Tyler Perry movie right now, like Straw. I mean, it was a great movie, right? Everybody made me cry. The stories out here make me cry. That's a movie. It's meant to entertain, get the message out of it. I don't know what Tyler Perry was thinking when he made it. Great movie. Loved it. But I'm not crying because Taraji P. Henson made a great ass role on something that we notice every day out here within these streets. The question is, what are we going to do about it to change what's going on within our homes, within our lives? Because guess what? They're not coming to save us. We all go through some type of mental health. We all go through depression. We all go through, bipolar. We all go through anxiety. The question is, what are we going to do to help it? What are we going to do to fix it? That's the real question. Yo, my OG is shout out. He's like, go off, Ryder. I want to go off, but sometimes I don't see the point, yo. But for real, like,
you just know we're fucked when.
Hold on 1 second.
You just know we're.
I want y'all to see this, right? Like, let me ask y'all a question. Why does it take, right, for people to actually see the shit happen in front of them, right? For them to sit here and say, oh shit, man, I gotta go prepare myself. I gotta go this. Yo, it's like, for example, right, every time they say, we're gonna have a hurricane, it's gonna be a flood, y'all gotta stay in your houses, we're not gonna have no electricity, motherfuckers go stack up on toilet paper, they're gonna go stack up on, like, is the tissue gonna help you? So when the tissue runs out, what is your next method? There's no more toilet paper in the stores, no more toilet paper in houses. So what are you going to do to improvise, right? To replace the fact that we've been using tissue for hundreds of years, right? But in the wireness, they use leaves. When they wash their ass, right, they use this leaf that produces soap. They don't use a bar of soap. I mean, they make their own soap too. So it's kind of like, why are we panicking if we've got the answers in front of us? And y'all wonder why they want to put this martial law in front of us, yo. We're the easiest guinea pigs out here, the easiest test subjects there is out there, yo. Man, when it comes to viruses, we're the biggest virus on earth. Tell me I'm lying. We're not the biggest virus on earth. Yo, if somebody tells me we're not the biggest virus on earth, man, listen. I'm Nate Gravy. We got Nate, Nate the Great Podcast in the building, man. Go make sure y'all go check out Nate the Great Podcast, yo. Great conversations, great topics, y'all. My hair right now just wants to be like Dennis the Menace. No matter how I put this damn cap, there's gonna be a piece sticking out over here, a piece over here, a piece over here. My hair is just frizzy. I don't know what the hell to do with it. Like, I don't want to be a man, but sometimes I wish I was a man. Like right now, I could just cut that shit bald. I'm not worried about it. Not worried about it. But then I'm like, damn, I'm gonna be bald. I don't know, man. I like waking up sometimes and doing stuff with my hair. Even though I'm not that girly, shit, I can't picture myself bald. But shit, if I'm pretty, I'll be handsome. I get it from my daddy. But yeah, man. Let's get back on topic. My bad. That was a crazy random thought, right? Man, we can't be, listen, man, we can't be sad and bored all the time, man. Like boring all the time. Like we gotta be goofy amongst ourselves. Like, listen, I make myself laugh. I fall off my bike and I start laughing. People be like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just bust my ass. What the fuck? You ain't laughing? That's a miracle." But let's go on to the next video, y'all. Listen, 300 million people wiped off the map. What would happen? Somebody in the comments said kind of sounds like Jesus is coming back. Y'all think Jesus is coming back? Y'all holler at me when y'all see Jesus' Father Time, all right?
We're fucked when the chief of the FBI that Trump just appointed is trying to warn the country. Just watch this shit.
How vulnerable is our power grid?
It's probably the most vulnerable thing we have. Our power grids are like 60, 70 years old.
It's going to be cool.
How vulnerable? Like, people want to worry now. Y'all wasn't worried about that, like, a couple months ago? I'm sitting here like, people have been preparing for months, for years. And I'm looking at it like, why is y'all going crazy on social media? I'm like, and then I look outside. I look out my window, I'm like, there's birds, crickets chirping, like, but I don't see people out here getting the way they are on social media. You see? This is what makes me second guess a lot of shit. Man, fuck that shit. Learn how to start a motherfucking campfire, all right? Put your child in Girl Scouts. Even if it's for a few months, they'll learn how to make some paper, all right? And Girl Scouts still teach you all that. If you have daughters, if you have a son, find some type of camp program out there that will teach them how to hike, camp, hunt deer and all that shit. And if, there's no programs out there, you go take your child camping, all right? And teach them how to survive. All right? Teach them how to survive, not go crazy. You're telling me that you can't sit here and gather some wood up and in your own backyard, start a little fire, make some rice, make some beans, right? And shit, here in Philly, man, somebody forgot about their roosters. We got roosters running each way, hens, roosters, chickens, man. Even though it's not the Caribbean, and it's no farms or none of that shit, go out there and catch one motherfucking rooster. Chop the head off, pluck it, cook that shit, bake that shit, grill that shit. You could do anything on a fire. You can even dig a hole and use it as an oven underground. On some real shit. But you know what? Let's continue. You know what? Listen, we're all going to panic when the grids go off, right? Because we're not going to be able to survive. We don't know what to do without our phones, without our computers, without our TVs. We don't know what the fuck to do without none of that shit attached to us, all right?
Is our power grid?
It's probably the most vulnerable thing we have. Our power grids are like 60,
Survival of the fittest.
It's going to be cool when the lights go out.
Exactly. And people are like, that just happens in that movie Die Hard or something. Like, no, it's not that hard to shut off a power grid through a cyber attack.
How vulnerable is it to outside attacks?
It's big because once they hit it, we can't fix it fast. Look, we just saw Paris during the Olympics just got blacked out. Ain't a coincidence.
If the grid goes down, we'll eventually just ourselves out of desperation. There will be no food, there'll be no water, there'll be no medical, there'll be no communication. How likely is that method of attack, do you think?
Something's gonna happen.
And in the same way that Joe Rogan predicted the LA wildflowers months before it happened, imagine an actual disaster like this happening.
Joe Rogan didn't predict shit. Stop saying that. All right? Joe Rogan ain't predict shit. He is not a prophet. None of us is. All right? No, none of us is right now. Now, we could pay attention and connect the dots and put 2 and 2 together. Now, what is 2 plus 2, sir? According to the books, is 4, because 2 times 2 is also 4. But anyways, dude, it's all about paying attention. Because it's funny that a 3-year-old, right? I've seen some 3-year-olds sit here with their parents and watch news and listen to different, podcasts, and I'm like, did that 3-year-old just catch on to what they were saying? This 3-year-old understood. Like, he got the assignment, but us motherfuckers can't. Come on.
Where they've been trying to warn.
Something's gonna happen.
And in the same way that Joe Rogan predicted the LA wildflowers months before it happened, imagine an actual disaster like this happening, where they've been trying to warn us for years.
A large blackout affecting the entire or a large portion of the United States. Imagine what that's like. You walk outside, you turn on your phone, there's no signal. You go back inside, you turn on the TV, no signal. You turn on the radio, no power. You turn on the faucet, no water. You turn on the fridge, no refrigeration. Your food starts to spoil. You walk outside, cars pile up, no street lights. Within 3 to 5 days, the food is gone from the grocery stores. And the trucks that the city counts on to resupply that food aren't coming. Within a week or two, the sewage system starts to overflow and contaminates what remains of the water supply, and people start getting cholera. Societal order starts to break down. There's mass evacuations. The emergency responders have now left their positions, like many did during Katrina, to protect themselves and their own families. The unfortunate news is that the threat of such a blackout is very real.
When the grid does go down, information is going to be the most powerful resource because nobody's going to know what to do. Which is why everyone in my family has one of these. How to build your own water filter, how to make your own solar panel system, how to build your own water heater because it's the wintertime, preserving fuel, protecting your house against intruders, a survival garden, even how to make toilet paper. We all know that was the first to go during the scamdemic. It's got all types of shit. This is something that I think all...
He said a toilet paper. See, that's why it was the first thing that I mentioned. Yo, motherfuckers want to run a toilet paper. You know how easy it is to make paper? I mean, shout out to Girl Scouts. I said a boom, chicka boom. I said a boom. Yo, oh my God. It is so easy to make fucking paper that is not a fucking joke. From regular paper to write on to fucking tissue to wipe your ass. And it's, listen. That's why I laugh. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, did we all fucking hit our heads during the scandemic, the pandemic? Like, did we catch amnesia and forget what the fuck we was taught growing up? Come on, man. 80s and 90s babies, y'all telling me that none of us remember how to fucking start a fire? None of us remember how to fucking sew, how to cook, how to clean the house without any of these fucking little fancy things that we got, which I don't think is fancy. These refrigerators fucking bust faster than anything. The old refrigerators, right? Back in our grandparents' Flintstone times, lasted longer than these pieces of shits that we got now. So it's like, if maybe we travel back in time and get some of them refrigerators and bring them over here, we do better in this time on some real shit. It's like the inventions from back in the days were better than the inventions we got now. But we know what it is. It's all profit. We know it's all about the money, man. For real. Like, you just got to sit here, right? Educate yourself. Re-educate yourself. Like, what is we paying attention to? Like, is we really, really sitting here bringing Hollywood to life? Because if we look at it, shit like this has happened before. It just hasn't happened in a while. It hasn't happened to us. But somehow, some way, when you look in the books and you look in history, it has happened. The question is, are we going to panic when it happens? Or are we going to do something about it? Is you prepared? Like, people is out of pocket. What solutions are we going to find? But yeah, I want to start off with that Trump. More videos might pop up, right? With that talking.
I told them that
the Trump situation, but we also got regular different videos on here, man. So let's just have some, you know, let's have some fun, right? Educate ourselves if we can, learn something new if we can. And listen, if the video is capped, let us surely know you think the video is capped, all right? Like, let's enjoy this. I'm lost in time because, listen, it's Sunday. I thought it was still Saturday. Same shit. Let me get my days straight together. Listen, I've been fucked up in pain. This weather's got a shorty messed up, yo. But listen, all right? How many times have y'all walked up to a McDonald's, right? And y'all see that the drive-thru is packed, right? And when you go inside, you know, it's this long line, but when you get closer, you notice there's only one employee. I've seen this a lot of times, and I'm wondering why it's happening a lot. Like, I don't know if they're just leaving one employee because they're getting ready to, you know, replace them with robots or some shit like that. But I've been noticing this a lot, especially here in Philadelphia, right? A lot of restaurants are open, but there's only one employee working. Or sometimes the employees are nowhere to be found, and, you know, people got to, you know, go to the next restaurant or find another restaurant. But this is happening in a lot of locations, right? And the funny part is, like, right here in Philly, right, some locations, right, like, fuck ordering out. Like, I tell my baby husband, I prefer to cook at home. Because some of these locations, I feel as though these people, right, I think that a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old would take their job more serious than these 20 and these 30-year-olds working at these fast food places on some real shit. These little kids are hungry. These motherfuckers just want to be in the back fucking smoking while customers are coming through the drive-thru in the front, and you don't see nobody, like they're on break. Like, it's a fucking Sunday morning and everybody's ready to go to church. Like, either you're gonna fucking praise the Lord or go to work. And you can praise the Lord while you're working on some real shit. I'm sorry, I sound like that, and if it offended anybody, that wasn't my intention, man. But this is how I talk, all right? Like, some of this shit just doesn't make fucking sense. And I'm not gonna be a good girl talking about this shit. Like, man, like, what the fuck is going on around us?
Y'all, she's working by herself. By herself. She's running an entire restaurant by herself. McDonald's do better.
We just said McDonald's do better.
I'm talking about by herself. She's all by herself. I was like third in line.
Yo, I give her props. She's all by herself, man. She's managing the drive-thru. She's managing the employees in the front, even though it's not as fast as everybody wants her to be. Man, she killing that shit by herself. Sometimes they got 20 motherfuckers in that bitch and ain't none of them moving fast enough. It's like they all bumping heads. Like you in a fucking room full of fucking retards and idiots. Oh, excuse me. Boop. Excuse me. Boop. Excuse me. Boop. Like, what the fuck? And this shorty right here serving everybody and getting rid of everybody by herself. Like she a robot. Man, fuck replacing us with robots. Let's get more people like this to get jobs. She in her zone.
All right. And then I got to noticing there's nobody else back here. There's nobody else back. There's nobody else back here, right, sir? None. Nobody. And she's working on multiple orders and doing the drive-through window. Absolutely not. Absolutely by herself. By herself. McDonald's, I love y'all, but y'all need to do by herself. She needs a raise.
Yes, she do.
On her face. She needs a raise. I hope y'all see this.
She needs a good raise.
And y'all know y'all got people who are in here working, and she needs a raise immediately. Y'all, she's working by herself. By herself. She's running an entire restaurant.
My bad, I couldn't get into pause. Shit. But that's some real shit right there, yo. Like, it's crazy the way this chick working right here is the way that most employees, right, most staff should be working. Like, she's motivated. She's doing the job of fucking 5 to 6 people by herself, and she's just one person. Let me see what the comments say before they're gonna turn this shit into fucking race. Here we go. That's why sometimes I even ignore the comments, yo. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Sometimes, yo, listen, I be telling people, like, some podcasts and some lives go left when some of us content creators pay attention to the dumbest comments on the damn chat. I swear to God, because this has nothing to do with the chick being Hispanic, I didn't even notice that she was Hispanic. She could have been white. Like, that's the funny part. Hispanic women are undefeated. A lot of women is undefeated, no matter the ethnicity, no matter the culture they're from. For real, for real. Like, and I'm a Latina woman saying this shit. All right. Now it says I would close the lobby. That's not safe. And that's true, but you know, she doing her thing. Hispanic women are undefeated. And customers still gonna be rude and impatient. But yet no one's hiring. And that's true. That's another thing that we be talking about here outside within our you know how I go live sometimes and I be having the hood conversations topics, right? Like we live out here with it and we just be talking, right? And that's one of the topics that we talk about a lot out here within my community, right? How they're saying they're hiring, right? And you got a lot of these kids, they got their working papers and stuff like that ready to work at McDonald's, Burger King, and all these places, but why they not hiring? They talking about, some people talking about, oh, they just young, they're not going to listen, they're not going to pay attention. Some of these kids is thirsty enough to do what you tell them to do. They just want that little bit of money to go out on the weekends, right? So they don't got to keep begging nobody for nothing, right? Not all these kids are the same. And that's what's getting me tired of a lot of fucking people. Like, they just keep fucking saying all kids are the same, all of them. None of these kids want to do this. All these kids are bad. Yeah, we got some badass kids out here. But that don't mean that you got to take away from the ones that really want to do better. That's why a lot of these kids turn to these corners. And y'all talk about, oh, they don't got to turn to the corner. There's so many resources. Yeah, the resources we give them, reject them. Turn them to the side. So at the end of the day, I can see and I can understand why a lot of these kids turn to the corner. Look at this shit. One lady here, but yet they're not hiring. She could have some help. But what's crazy is, right, when they pack this place out, all these adults that be working there, half of them don't even fucking do their job. They just be fucking playing around in these fast food places. That's the fucked up part about it. They better be paying her for each role that she's doing. Shit. I mean, I'm guessing it's supposed to be somebody in the fries, right? Somebody doing the burgers, somebody in the cash register, right? So it's probably like, yo, she's supposed to be getting paid right now the pay of maybe 5 or 6 people. That's what she should be getting paid. Each person that didn't go to work that day, their pay should go to her. But let's move on to the next topic, y'all.
While everyone is in an uproar about who can bleed and who can't, men have become so obsessed with women that they want to turn into one. And I find it quite flattering that womanhood seems so great to you guys. Y'all know me, you may not like what I gotta say, but I'm gonna say it anyways. In recent conversation, there's been a lot of uproar between trans women and real women.
I can't.
I think the most misogynistic thing that a man can do is reject his biology as a man and go into women-dominated spaces telling other women how he's a better woman than them because it's based off of his feelings of how he perceives a woman to be while walking in society emulating what he believes a woman looks like by replicating other women. When we're discussing womanhood, I cannot go to another woman and ask her what it feels like to be a woman because being a woman is not a feeling. However, being a woman, I absolutely am subjected to my reproductive organs that identify me as a woman. And saying that doesn't mean that I'm less than a woman. It just means that that is the beginning of my woman origin and my woman experience. And for the women who can't have a baby, we still recognize those women as women because they do have the reproductive organs to do so. However, we also understand that something is medically wrong with them. I will give credence to the fact that women are not the only people who have a period if we're identifying them that way, because non-binary people or trans men actually can also have a period, but at the basis of it, we call those biological women. However,
Wait. You know what? Let's play.
You're talking about trans women.
I'll pause it in a minute.
Something that biologically impossible you cannot do. The power struggle here that comes into play is when there is a very small minority of people imposing onto a larger group of people that are telling them what they would like to be called, how they would like to be treated, how they would like to be pronounced, and how they would like to be identified. But then you're imposing terminology onto them that they have yet to accept. So I must appease your feelings, calling you by the pronouns that you identify with as, because you have chose to make this decision about putting on a wig and putting on nails and putting on a dress. However, when I tell you I reject terms like birthing person, or breastfeeder or real woman or biological woman or cisgendered woman at this point, then I should just understand and accept it because science says so. But science also says that the basis of your DNA, you are biologically a male. So why are we not listening to science all the way across the board? Seems a little hypocritical to me. And since everyone has such an issue with understanding just hilarious, let me go ahead and put my cape on because I think I can break it down for you a little bit more. It's very disingenuous for you to overshadow that woman's feelings in regards to her womanhood when she actually has given birth to a baby, which biologically that does make her a woman. However, you decided to discuss her looks and says that she looks like a trans person while you're also attempting to advocate for trans people. It's giving inherent transphobia.
Whoa.
Also, to resurface the interview where she's relaying her experience of a man DMing her thinking that she was a trans woman to have sex with her probably offended her because she's an actual woman. And it should be more of a slight to trans people considering the fact that that person has a fetish. It just wanted to sexualize you and use you as an inanimate object. As a Black woman, we have to be extremely mindful of how we attach ourselves to other intersectional groups when it comes to their issues, because we're always the first to remind people nobody respects us and nobody protects us, but we're the first to jump into the line of fire when other people need a defense. So here's a few things to remember when you're talking allyship. They're always present when it's time to give the tea or bash heterosexual men and amplify any bad experience that we've had in regards to our relationship issues. But anytime it's time to help these children and provide for them or be a better role model or even your protection, they are nowhere to be found. Not saying that there's an agenda, but I will say for a very small group of people who seem to not have any effect on anybody, when their issues come up in conversation, they're making a huge ruckus and their representation comes at the basis of overshadowing other marginalized people. While everyone is in a
I mean, she's spitting some facts right there, yo. For real. Can't nobody get mad at this. Let me see the comments real quick before I say what I gotta say. Why is she? I want to find the original video too. But unfortunately, I'm stuck with this one. God doesn't make mistakes is all I'm going to say. Covered the whole coin, best closing argument. I agree, but is it really that funny? I mean, I don't think the creator was joking. I don't know who the chick is on the side of the video. I hate when they make videos like this, but they do it. Say it again for the people with hearing aids. Preach, young lady. And she's speaking some facts. Look, listen, man. No matter how you want to look at it, a man is a man, a woman is a woman, right? A man cannot bleed for 7 days, no matter if he does transition to become a woman, all right? He cannot bleed for them 7 days. A man cannot reproduce for 7 days, all right? A man can sit here and procreate with you, right? But who do you think sits here and gives birth to the baby? The mother. You still need semen, right, to get attached to that egg. But at the end of the day, right, a man is still a man and a woman is still a woman. Men cannot feel the things that women feel, and women cannot feel the things that a man feels at all. I can't even imagine, man. Look, listen, for a man to give birth, he would have to shit a baby out. Because to push a baby through that little tiny hole in his penis, Lord have mercy, he won't have a penis after he gives birth. Like, this shit is not a joke, and I understand where she's coming from, right? And this is not to bash anybody from the transgender community, right? This is not to bring anybody down, all right? But a man that dresses as a woman, right, pretending to be a woman, right, that says, you know, that he feels that he's a woman, is still a man at the end of the day. He still got that third leg dangling, all right? Still got that third king. You see where I'm coming from? Like, a man doesn't know what it is to give birth. A man doesn't know what it is to sit here and have a period, to go through the things that a woman goes through. And a woman does not know what it is to go through the things that a man goes through at all. All right, so there is a big difference biologically, all right? And what's crazy is, right, when you look at the men that are trying to be women, right, they're mimicking the women, but they don't understand why the women are the way the women are, why we are unstable creatures, which makes them even, like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not bashing nobody, because I have a lot of people around me that are within the community, and they're great people. What I'm saying wouldn't even offend them, because they know who they are and what they are. Now, I will offend those that, are going through the pain, that are confused and don't even understand what they're going through. But that's not my intention. But at the end of the day, the reality is the reality. Like, we can't change who we are biologically, who we're born. We could change it by surgery, yes, but it ain't the norm. Look how many kids, right, that have been transitioned as kids because of the parents or because they wanted to and the parents agreed, right? Now, as adults, they regret it. And they cannot turn back the hands of time to get back what they took off. Neither a woman or neither a man. I respect, the fact that, people want to be how they want to be. I respect that fact. But you cannot sit here and you're a man trying to be a woman, telling a woman how she feels and what she thinks. When not in a million years, a man can sit here and walk in a woman's shoes. Neither can a man. Neither can a woman walk in a mile. Neither could a woman walk a mile in a man's shoes. So let's listen again to what she said for those of that need a hearing aid in the back.
The uproar about who can bleed and who can't. Men have become so obsessed with women that they want to turn into one, and I find it quite flattering that womanhood seems so great to you guys. Y'all know me, you may not like what I gotta say, but I'm gonna say it anyways. In recent conversation, there's been a lot of uproar between trans women and real women. In my opinion, I think the most misogynistic thing that a man can do is reject his biology as a man and go into women-dominated spaces telling other women how he's a better woman than them because it's based off of his feelings of how he perceives a woman to be, while walking in society emulating what he believes a woman looks like by replicating other women. When we're discussing womanhood, I cannot go to another woman and ask her what it feels like to be a woman, because being a woman is not a feeling. However, being a woman...
Exactly. Being a woman is not a feeling. It's not. And there's no reason why men out here are, that pretend to be women, right? That, they have the urge, that need, to feel like they're a woman, right? For some reason, whatever the reason is, all right? To sit here and argue down a woman that is a woman. How you want to tell a woman how she thinks when you, in reality, biologically, don't think like one? Let's make it make sense. Now, I can't walk up to another woman and tell another woman how I feel, like, being like another woman, but I can sit here and have a conversation with another woman, right? And ask her, what do you do when you get your period? How do you ease the cramps? A man can't do that. When you're about to give birth, what advice can you give me? So, it doesn't hurt so much, when the walls are opening and the babies. A man can't do that. Can a man sit here and tell me, all right, how does it feel to push a baby out and give me advice on it? No.
I absolutely am subjected to my reproductive organs that identify me as a woman. And saying that doesn't mean that I'm less than a woman. It just means that is the beginning of my woman origin and my woman experience. And for the women who can't have a baby, we still recognize those women as women because they do have the reproductive organs to do so. However, we also understand that something is medically wrong with them. I will give credence to the fact that women are not the only people who have a period if we're identifying them that way, because non-binary people or trans men actually can also have a period, but at the basis of it, we call those
trans men. Okay, I get it now. All right, trans men can get a period. How they cut their... If a man transitioned to become a woman, a woman transitioned to be a man, don't they put a fake penis down there and stop the period or something? But I get where she's coming from, because even though she transitioned, her organs inside are still female. I get her, because I was going to say, wait a minute. What they got to... even though they do the surgery and add the penis, and close the vagina, what, the penis gets a period? You know what? I'm going to leave that one alone. I've never even thought about it until she said what you know what? What the fuck? Wait a minute. So when the woman transitions herself to be a man, she still gets a period with her penis? I'm confused.
Biological women. However, when you're talking about trans women, we understand that that is something that biologically impossible you cannot do. The power struggle here that comes into play is when there is a very small minority of people imposing onto a large his feelings of how he perceives a woman to be while walking in society, emulating what he believes a woman looks like by replicating other women. When we're discussing womanhood, I cannot go to another woman and ask her what it feels like to be a woman, because being a woman is not a feeling. However, being a woman, I absolutely am subjected to my reproductive organs that identify me as a woman. And saying that doesn't mean that I'm less than a woman. It just means that that is the beginning of my woman origin and my woman experience. And for the women who can't have a baby, we still recognize those women as women because they do have the reproductive organs to do so. However, we also understand that something is medically wrong with
that chick laughing is
to the fact that women are not the only people who have a period if we're identifying them that way, because non-binary people or trans men actually can also have a period, but at the basis of it, we call those biological women. However, when you're talking about trans women, we understand that that is something that biologically
I get it now.
cannot do. The power struggle here that comes into play is when there is a very small minority of people imposing onto a larger group of people that are telling them what they would like to be called, how they would like to be treated, how they would like to be pronounced, and how they would like to be identified. But then you're imposing terminology onto them that they have yet to accept. So I must appease your feelings, calling you by the pronouns that you identify with as, because you have chose to make this decision about putting on a wig and putting on nails and putting on a dress. However, when I tell you I reject terms like birthing person or breastfeeder or real woman or biological woman or cisgendered woman, at this point, then I should just understand and accept it because science says so. But science also says that the basis of your DNA, you are biologically a male. So why are we not listening to science all the way across the board? Seems a little hypocritical to me. And since everyone has such an issue with understanding just hilarious, let me go ahead and put my cape on because I think I could break it down for you a little bit more. It's very disingenuous for you.
Okay. So she is saying this because it seems like somebody was coming at just hilarious because they, I guess, okay, I know what she's talking about now. I was a little confused when she added that the last time. All right. So basically, I'm guessing somebody bashing just hilarious saying that she looks like a transgender woman. But it's just as a woman, like, she ain't get no surgery. She had kids. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people, yo?
To overshadow that woman's feelings in regards to her womanhood when she actually has given birth to a baby, which biologically that does make her a woman. However, you decided to discuss her looks and says that she looks like a trans person while you're also attempting to advocate for trans people. It's giving inherent transphobia. Also, to resurface the interview where she's relaying her experience of a man DMing her thinking that she was a trans woman to have sex with her, probably offended her because she's a woman, and it should be more of a slight to trans people considering the fact that that person has a fetish and just wanted to sexualize you and use you as an inanimate object.
That's true. That's some fucked up shit. Like, damn, people be doing them. See, and this is why I don't like Instagram. Like, motherfuckers, yo, I sort of got Instagram on some real shit. It is, I could call it so many things right now, but I can get a strike from YouTube. But let's call it, it's like a Pornhub messenger. Like, men think they could just get on women's DMs on cuffing season or, you know, summertime and do this and say that. And, like, no. Yo, listen. I stopped. The only time I get on fucking Instagram, and I have an Instagram business account. So it's like, it's to deal with business. I'll have some videos uploaded and shit like that. But other than that, it's to do business. Like, don't DM, because listen, when I had a regular Instagram, I took that shit off. I exposed every mofo that got on my DM and took a little picture of the eggplant. And I posted that shit right on Facebook. Then I gave a disclaimer. I'm getting harassed and stalked by these fucking men. They want to be that fucking like hard-headed to the point where, you know, you don't know how to take rejection. You want to keep going and going. Then you get mad. And then you want to say this and say that when you get rejected by females. Some of us females is happy where we at. We don't need no social media, you know, love encounters, right? We're not playing with Cupid at all when it comes to social media. Me personally, I don't think you can find love over the internet. You see where I'm coming from? Like me personally, you have to know somebody, been with that person, around that person. This social media shit, long distance love, I don't believe in that shit. I don't even understand how can, somebody even fall in love without even having any type of real interaction. Never once meeting, never once hugging, never once touching, not knowing what the other person is doing on the other side. You could tell me a million things over the screen, but does it mean that it's true in your real life? I could tell you a million things over the screen. Does it mean that it's true on my side? I don't believe it's like, I'm different. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I listened to you. That last conversation, and I got this, it was you and word on my ear, and I got this channel monetized. I listened. Little by little. Let's see how long I stay monetized with my mouth. One day I'm going to slip up and say some shit. I'm trying. But yeah, man, when it comes to this right here, man, I feel as though, look, a man is a man, a woman is a woman. You want to pretend to be a woman, to feel good, to ease yourself, that's fine. You see where I'm coming from? But let's leave the kids alone, right? Let's stop bashing people, for who they really are in real life. You see where I'm coming from? If a person is straight, right, but you are a man and you think in your head that you're a woman and this person doesn't want to be with you, dude, back the fuck off. The same thing with the woman, right? Like if you're a woman and you think you're a man and this woman over here is straight, doesn't want to be with you, back the fuck off. There's someone out there for everybody. You see where I'm coming from? I mean, it's like, for example, I may not have a problem with what you're doing, right? But that doesn't mean that I agree with what you're doing. Because I know that at the end of the day, to me, it's not right. But I can't knock you down for what you want to do in life. But don't sit here, right, and put your blame on me, because I'm not your scapegoat. I'm only human.
As a Black woman, we have to be extremely mindful of how we attach ourselves to other intersectional groups when it comes to their issues, because we're always the first to remind people nobody respects us and nobody protects us, but we're the first to jump into the line of fire when other people need a defense. So here's a few things to remember when you're talking.
And that's some real shit. Just the other day, I was having a conversation with, a transgender woman, a man that, dresses as a woman and stuff like that. And I was explaining to them, right? At the end of the day, right, you have to respect yourself first in order to get the respect from other people, right? And the reason we were having this conversation, right, because they felt offended because someone called them the F word, right? F-A-G-O-T, right? Right? So I'm sitting here and I'm trying to get to the root of the problem. And we all having a conversation, right? And I told this person, I say, once I found out what the situation was, I said, listen, well, if you want others to respect yourself, you have to lead with respect, right? And they looked at me like confused as shit. I was like, look, right? Respect is earned, not just given. So at the end of the day, if you want others to respect you, respect yourself first. Stop calling yourself an F-A-G-O-T. When you're in group conversations with people, stop using those names with each other, because then people that are outside looking in are going to start doing the same thing. And that because y'all so comfortable calling each other that, they're going to call y'all that. So you can't get mad if you call yourself something and then somebody else comes and calls you that. It's like, for example, if me and my homegirl every day call each other a bitch, right? People are going to look at us like, oh, they feel comfortable calling each other a bitch. Then, hey, it's okay for me to call them a bitch. Then they're like, what the fuck, motherfucker? Who you think you calling a bitch? You call yourself a bitch. You got to sit here and think about it when somebody turns it around on you. How you want me to call you something else if every day you're calling yourself this? So I'm going to call you this, the same thing. You feel comfortable doing it. So that's the thing that we got to stop. Not even the people within that community, right? But us ourselves. Us as women, us, the men. Like, individually, each one of us got to give ourselves respect in order to get respect, right? So if you're out here disrespecting yourself, trust and believe that others is going to do the same thing. But if you carry yourself with respect and you lead with respect, people are going to give you that respect back. And that's how you're going to get treated. I don't know why we live in a generation. I don't know. And I feel as though, yo, shout out to Mel Dub, right? Because he said it like on one of his lives. I forgot what live it was, but he said it best, right? Our generation and the generation before has messed up this generation. We're the reason this generation is like this. And when we learn how to take accountability for that is when maybe we can start seeing a change and a difference. And the reason that I say we are the reason, right? It goes from the music to the movies and all that we promote out here, to how we carry ourselves, to what we teach our kids, to the point where they mimic everything. And then we turn around and ask questions, why are they doing this? Peep. Nate the Great Word always talks about this. What is it called? Indoctrination, right? Nate. Like, these are conversations that are being had every day. The funny part about it is we got the answers in front of our faces, but it's not enough of us that can come together. We're so divided to the point that even when, how can I say, the dust and the debris clears, we're still going to be blinded. But we've made it that way. That's why I keep saying that at the end of the day, we're the biggest virus on earth. We talk so much about the white men having hate in their heart, but when are we going to stop the hate in our heart to the point where we can come together and help our youth in the future, especially in situations like this? Half the people around us don't even know how to survive if the grid was to go down. It's funny and shit. Half the people survive off of microwave meals. I've seen people cook steaks on a microwave, and I'm saying here, God damn. That's why half the people don't make it to fucking 90 or 60. Like, let's be real. It's, telling you, man, we got a lot of fills and dills on this world, man. Motherfuckers is gonna be eating worms for the rest of their lives if they don't get their shit together. But let's move on to the next video. Man, let us shorty know what y'all think about this video. Leave y'all comments down below. Was she spitting gems or was she just talking to talk? I feel as though she was spitting them gems. Yo, her sugar daddy got game. That old hair still got game. He's like, He's like, come here, sugar baby. Let me show you what this abuelito got. I can't, yo. I cannot. Yo, I can't have a sugar daddy. Ooh, I'm sorry. No offense to them sugar daddies out there, but any I can't. Y'all don't want to hear my opinions. I am so sorry. But shit, it seems like in her world, this fucking abuelito got game, man. Shit, and if it ain't the stroke game, well, she said it was. He left you. Listen, man, he left her hanging on the damn fucking counter like a fucking spider booty with her legs tangled in the back of her head. Like, oh shit. Like, damn. I cannot, yo. I can't with TikTok either, yo. I can't. Only on TikTok, yo. I swear to God. Then she put the damn fucking 70-year-old filter. Like, get the fuck out my face. I can't. I love her. Yo, I can't. Pop, make that bitch come faster than Amazon Prime. She like faster. I can't with her, yo. She did the whole nigga stroke and everything. I can't with her. Yo, I love her though. She is so fucking funny on TikTok though. Like, she be getting these damn little music clips and she be, yo, it's like Nate. Like, yo, Nate, aka the Natrix, yo, on some real shit, yo. Nate be having fun with them damn fucking clips and filters and shit like that, yo. You gotta love Nate. He be funny as shit. I'll be looking at Nate like, really, Nate, though? Yo, man, you gotta love it.
I'm not gonna lie, what Elon just exposed on live television should have everyone worried. Just watch this before they take it down.
They basically want to kill me because I'm stopping their fraud. And they want to hurt Tesla because we're stopping.
Does tapping on your laptop help people pay attention or something?
This terrible waste and corruption.
Now, could this all just be a distraction from the bigger picture?
What you say again?
I'm not gonna lie, what Elon just exposed on live television should have everyone worried. Just watch this before they take it down.
They basically want to kill me because I'm stopping their fraud. And they want to hurt Tesla because we're stopping this terrible waste and corruption.
Now, could this all just be a distraction from the bigger picture? I started doing a little bit more research and I figured out that the Department of Health was actually hiding this key ingredient from us that over 90% of humans lack. This human biologist explained everything in his recent podcast before it randomly got taken down. Just watch.
Most people, especially
This
young
again?
people, probably don't realize that they're walking around right now at about 55%, maybe 60% of their true state of normal. There is a nutrient, amino acid, a substrate, a compound, an element missing from their body that if they knew what it was, would make the difference between them being an average person and being a superhuman.
What supplement? Don't end your sentence there, Gary.
So it's called L-theanine.
So you mean to tell me that we're walking around at 50% of our true state of normal? All the times we would be stressed or just have low energy, or all the times we knew we would have to get work done, but we would get distracted every 5 minutes, was all because we were lacking a key ingredient in our nutrition. But these two Samoans who are geniuses made this a real thing so we can actually get this in our nutrition. Just watch.
How long does it take to be effective? 5 to 10 minutes. So the people who try our product really love it.
Ryan, I gotta tell you, I am so friggin' hyper right now.
Yes, let's go.
So this is what they were chewing on, and it's called neuro gum. It has.
See, and when y'all make videos like this, trying to get somebody to buy a product, it makes us feel like you're a part of that scam too. On some real I'm not going to sit here and lie. Like, I get the bring awareness thing, but you know, for a while, like I've told people, man, I've been told, even by psychologists, right, that in order to get us to get back to, you know, the norm fully, is something in us, and everybody is different, right? Everybody, and I mean every individual, right? Their bodies are different, right? So you could be lacking something, right, that I'm not lacking, but I could be lacking something that you're not lacking. As crazy as it sounds, yes, right? For example, my body could be missing something, but it is not, it doesn't have to be that, right? Everybody, you know, is different. Growing up, you know, because of the way we've been raised and everything, right? Especially, you know, I don't know how to put it into words, so I'm gonna just leave that part out. Growing up, right? All that stuff that we how can I say, started consuming, the Kool-Aids, all that stuff really have messed us up, right? The eating the TV dinners, I'm gonna say the fast food restaurants and all that stuff, the chemicals in it have fucked with the cells in our bodies, the DNA, everything, right? And throughout the years, right, we've left out certain nutritions that our body needs, right? And that's why I say I prefer to cook at home. Like at home, listen, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm putting into my body. You see where I'm coming from? I know it's not going to fuck me up. If I'm missing something, you know, I could just add it to whatever meal I'm, you know. But other than that, fuck all this other shit. You go to fast food restaurants now, you get sick, you get fucked up. They don't know what's going on, why you're sick. Like, and even buying meat nowadays, like, But anyways, it's something in your body that your body is missing, whether it's vitamin C, whether it could be, you know, listen, I'm not a doctor, so I really don't want to say the wrong things, right? But it's something that you're missing, and you can get it through all natural herbs or by changing your diet, the way you eat. You see where I'm coming from? Lesser grease, more fruits, right? There's so many ways I can go about this, but when they do this thing right here, I was like, what's the difference? You out here trying to sell us a product. How do we know what's really in it? You could put whatever you want to put out here, but while it's being made in the factory or whoever's making it, we can't see it. We don't know what's being done. And I agree with this person right here in the comments, right? Elon is scared he's not even in America, but what is he scared of? Bro, turned a serious matter into a sponsor ad. I don't care about Elon or Trump. Fake ass Trump's tampon on his ear. Come on. They bitches want to throw us off the rails. but if love, what the fuck is they? You know what? Screw the comments. Yo, this shit is crazy. I don't believe that Trump and Elon has separated. I feel as though they're just doing this for publicity, for real, for real. Like the world is a stage, and everything they throw at us is an illusion, for real, for real. They magicians. They try to distract us doing and saying certain things, right, until we figure out what's really going on.
Hold up. I might just flash out on my pappy for that whole shit that he did.
Damn.
You fucking on my mama, but couldn't take care of your kids. What's the point of calling you daddy when you never was a father? And what's the point of reaching out when a nigga ain't never even bothered? But what's the point of me talking? I picked the same kind of BD, but what's the point of him being 32 fucking me at 17? What's the point of being mad? They just gon' label you as fast, cause you know dope boys not pedophiles long as they get a bag. So what's the point of being sad? You better off not giving a fuck. They be screaming they hate P. Diddy, but still love they uncles. What's the point of keeping secret? Hell, he a threat to all the nieces. And why y'all hurting all the angels so you can protect all the demons? What's the point of even lying? You get caught up every time. What's the point of your relationship if y'all ass ain't even trying? How we glorifying murders, then we be shocked when niggas die? Like, what's the point? Are we down with catching bodies or we not? What's the point with getting it right when that shit still gonna go left? What's the point of having fam if you can't ask them for help? Hold up.
Got a longer version in this 1 minute over here. Like, yo, everything she's saying is on fucking point. Why they hurting all the angels, protecting all the demons? That's some real shit. Why they hurting all the angels, protecting? I like you. Yo, we think similar. Ooh, she got some poetry right. Yo, she got some bars. She said, what's the point of having a family if you can't ask them for help? That's some real shit. Like, listen to what she is saying carefully. She ain't exposing shit, but she's saying how it is. She's telling the reality of things, yo, for real, for real. Like, people don't get it.
Hold up. I might just flash out on my pappy for that whole shit that he did. How you fucking on my mama, but couldn't take care of your kids? What's the point of calling you daddy when you never was a father? And what's the point of reaching out when a nigga ain't never even bothered? But what's the point of me talking? I picked the same kind of BD, but what's the point of him being 32 fucking me at 17? What?
Damn. Like, that's true. It's crazy because a lot of fathers are like that, and there are a lot of men out here, you know, they get with women that are, you know, when they're old with younger women, and that's why I'm saying that's a stigma. That's a how can I say? That's something that we gotta stop. All right, because it's something that I'm hearing a lot. Right, a lot of these women out here talk, oh, I was 17 when I was knocked up, and he was in his, you know, late 20s and his early 30s. Some was like, oh, he was in his 40s when he got with me. I'm saying, like, no wonder our generation was fucked up. Look at what we were seeing. It was okay to have sex with an older man at 17, get knocked up. Look at what the fuck we was mimicking, and we passed it on down. Some of us caught it probably on time, probably a little late, but on time. I mean, it's hard to put it into words, but she's speaking the facts. What's the point? He's 32, she's 17. Pay attention.
Hold up. I might just flash out on my pappy for that whole shit that he did. How you fucking on my mama, but couldn't take care of your kids? What's the point of calling you daddy when you never was a father? And what's the point of reaching out when a nigga ain't never even bothered? But what's the point of me talking? I picked the same kind of BD, but what's the point of him being 32 fucking me at 17? What's the point of being mad? They just gon' label you as fast, cause you know dope boys not pedophiles long as they get a bag. So what's
Because you know broke boys not pedophiles as long as they get a bag. Peep it. A lot of these women are saying it's okay through social media platforms, and a lot of these men are promoting this type of behavior, right? And it's being accepted by a lot of women, sugarcoated by a lot of women, because when they was younger, they were doing it. So it's okay for their daughters to be 17 fucking 30-year-old men, 40-year-old men, 50-year-old men. Oh, I was doing it, so they got to do it too? Why not fix it? Why not correct it? Maybe I'm wrong. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but it's crazy. This is what's really happening. Because when I hear women say this shit, I'll be looking at her like, you do know that you're sitting here agreeing for pedophilia to keep rising, right? You're with it.
Point of being said, you better off not giving a fuck. They be screaming they hate P. Diddy, but still love they uncles. What's the point of keeping secret? Hell, he a threat to all the nieces.
That's a fact. They screaming they hate P. Diddy, but they still love their uncle. They have done things like P. Diddy. They still covering for their uncle. Like, I feel as though that in situations like this, right, a lot hasn't really changed. You see, a lot of things still can be kept, secret because of family traditions or how people might be looked at. When, things have changed throughout the years, how can we still have family that act and react like this? You want to keep it on the shh because of what people might think. People going to talk regardless. So we still keeping things on the shh because of how you might look.
Why y'all hurting all the angels so you can protect all the demons? What's the point?
That's some real shit. That's why when I noticed a lot of people doing that here on social media, I stopped fucking with them. I stopped. I messed with a lot of people on here heavy in the beginning, right? And I started noticing that a lot of these people are, how can I say, promoting a lot of this type of stuff. I don't agree with this. And then when you don't agree with them, when you don't agree with their concept of, things, you become the villain. Now they try to bring you down. They try to bash you. Nah, man. Nah, what is we doing? Either we helping these angels or we fucking sitting here and feeding them to the devil. Which one is it?
Even line. You get caught up every time. What's the point of your relationship if y'all ass ain't even trying? How we glorifying murder, then we be shocked when niggas die. Like, what's the point? Are we down with catching bodies or we not? What's the point with getting it right when that shit still gonna go left? What's the point of having fam if you can't ask them for help?
Yo, she killed that shit. She on point with that, man. She need to keep going, man. And hopefully, nothing bad happens to her, man, because we seem to have, we live in an era where we have people that are, how can I say, rapping the reality of what's happening within our communities, right? Like LGBTQ, right? He was somebody that was also spitting bars, rapping about what's happening within our communities, and in the same breath telling us, how we can make a difference and a change if we, do things differently. And boom, just for his chain, he's not here today. And what's crazy is she's doing the same thing. She's spitting the facts of reality. What's the point of this and what's the point of that if people are still going to be protecting this and that? She's not lying at all. Ain't shit changing. People still doing the same shit time after time after time.
Mommy needs a fucking break.
Hey?
Mommy needs a fucking break. The internal.
Yo, I cannot. I need to get me some of these books for me so I can read by myself. Shit, what the hell? These are kids' books, though? Wait a minute. Who approves these books? The book should be a gift to all mothers on Mother's Day because it's so true. We love our babies, but we need that break. Plot twist, Grandma. This book is pushing it a little too much. It's trying to portray teenagers as the bad guys, like the parents themselves did nothing wrong and are these poor, defenseless, and tired babies. What? I like this before you even turn the first page. Let's see. Mommy needs a fucking break. Damn.
Mommy needs a fucking break. Mommy needs a fucking break. The
Story
internal
time,
dialogue
guys.
of a burnt-out mom by Buster Gutt. Dedicated to all the amazing moms who have too many fucking jobs. Executive chef, on-call nurse, chauffeur, laundry technician, event planner, therapist, referee, IT support, search and rescue team, personal assistant, fashion consultant, sleep scientist, home decor specialist, budget.
What in the world is going
lie
on?
detector, logistics coordinator, creative director, disaster recovery specialist, love and hug machine, and many more.
I need a
I can't
latte.
believe I said that all almost in one breath. I thought at the start of this parenting journey, this shit would be so easy. How to not parent like your mother.
I
All
can't.
pregnant, glowing with radiant skin. Then fuck, I came over all queasy.
What?
Giving birth was a horrible nightmare ordeal. Now I'm forever awake. Then you finally slept, looking peacefully calm. Surely now mommy can have a small break? As I cook and I sip my rancid stale coffee, I hear a deafening moan. Mommy just needs one fucking break to herself. Why can't you all leave me alone? Dear
Damn.
God, that is real. Eat and stop staring at your cold fucking plate. I wanted you in bed by 7. The day you can cook your own fucking meals will be my idea of such heaven. Yeah, but then they just leave.
Yo, what in the world is going on? I thought we wasn't supposed to be talking to our kids like this. Why is they promoting this? Like, wait a minute. I mean, it's funny as hell. I'm not going to sit here and lie. This shit funny, but this not for kids. Do they got this in schools? I hope not. This book should be for adults only. All right? Adults only.
Shit everywhere. No, I can't carry you all fucking day long. Use
What?
your own legs and walk. Please don't keep going on and on at me now. All you do is just fucking talk. I don't have my own social life anymore. I don't see my friends, for fuck's sake. We used to laugh, have fun, and let loose. Mommy just needs that fucking break. I don't give 2 fucks about the big Lego store or going to Toys R Us. But luckily, there's a huge Starbucks next door, which is always a real fucking plus. I really don't fucking care who started it now. Please just get on with your brother. This constant moaning is driving me insane. Why can't you get on with each other? Why do you challenge everything that I ask? Please do what I say. Because I said so, and don't you argue with me. I'm not in the mood today. Do I look like an endless ATM to you then? I'm not giving you anymore. You're reckless. You buy the most ridiculous shit when you go to that fucking store.
What the hell's going
From the very
on?
bottom of my heart. I'll be sad when you soon leave the nest. Oh my God, my oldest son moved out on Friday, just last Friday, and I was a fucking disaster, like crying all night long. I missed the child on
I got that
Saturday
logo
morning, and I
for my
never even
shirts.
saw him. He was either at work or he came home and he like shut himself in his bedroom and screamed at his friends over video games. But God damn it, it's sad when they leave. But be most assured, I'll be fine when you go because mommy now needs that rest. You say that, mom, but then it happens. And you cry and you hug them and ask them to just stay one more night. Mommy really needs a motherfucking break. I'm getting
Damn.
very, very tired. If you don't like my tone, clean up your own shit. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm retired.
Yo, I can't. The plot twist. They threw the grandmom into the picture. Yo, this is an adult book. I hope they don't have these books in school. Like, and I hope she's not reading this book to her child. This is a book she should read. I cannot right now. They really threw the grandmom into the... Yo. What in the world is going on?
Now I'm ancient, alone, thinking of the good old days. I cry as I lie there awake. Because finally, at last, the time has now come for mommy to have her fucking break. Surprise, you're going to be a grandma.
Yo.
Mommy needs a fucking break. Mommy needs...
I cannot, man. Would y'all read a book like this? Let a shorty know.
Man, fuck them kids.
Oh, shit.
Man,
Another
fuck
one?
them kids by Charlie Mack.
Yo, mommy needs a fucking break, and man, fuck these kids. Somebody is really mad at some kids. Like, shit, don't have kids. See, that's the problem, man. Some of y'all are just sexaholics. Y'all need to fully mature sexually. Y'all out here having sex like y'all forget that y'all got ovaries and shit, man. No Planned Parenthood, no nothing. Y'all just go in there with no Red Bull. Then when y'all get knocked up, y'all be like, oh shit. Now it's fuck them kids. Shit, they say have sex. You know, it'll be fun. Huh? But you don't know the consequences of having sex. Yeah, it's fun until you get knocked the fuck up. Then you say fuck them kids. What the fuck? Y'all care with these people?
These kids are bad as fuck. Parents aren't whooping ass enough. If you're slow, you should know. I'm here to catch you up. Grab a belt, grab a switch, or even grab a shoe. And if they start acting bad, you should know just what to do. Parents nowadays, they are soft as baby shit.
Nate, did you write this book, Nate? I don't think the author of this book wrote this book. I think Nate the Great Podcast wrote this book. Nate, you wrote this book, didn't you?
you should know I'm here to catch you up. Grab a belt, grab a switch, or even grab a shoe. And if they start acting bad, you should know just what to do. Parents nowadays, they are soft as baby shit. Just know I'm beating ass if you let me babysit.
Nate wrote this book.
I don't want to hear your kid talk. I'm not trying to be harsh, but man, fuck them kids. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
I can't.
Y'all can get mad if y'all want, but your kid is unbearable. Somebody need to whoop their ass. The job you're doing is terrible. Your kid think he's grown and he's thinking that he's tough. You put him in timeout. He should take timeout and pick his damn teeth up. Why are they disrespectful? Why are they so rude? Why do they think it's cool to go in the fridge and eat my food? If kids are good, then that's good. If kids are bad, then that's bad. If they make me mad, I'm going to break my foot off in their ass. Somebody better get them. Tell them who not to fuck with. Kid or not, I don't care. My mom didn't raise a punk bitch. I don't care.
Yo!
Mine, my sisters, or my neighbor on the end. We're not buddies. We're not partners. And we're damn sure not friends. Better keep it on TikTok. Don't get fucked up because of trends. Man, fuck them kids.
Yo, and they even mentioned TikTok on this book. I can't. I'm done. What in the world? Nate, you're not just out here manipulating freaking zoo animals now, huh? You out there somehow. What you sent your raccoon? You sent them raccoons over there? You sent them raccoons over there. You made them make this book, didn't you? Nate, you're the only one that I know that will grab a belt and whoop somebody's kid's ass. And not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Shit. Nate a great godfather, yo. On some real shit. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. This shit is crazy, Nate. I don't think this person wrote the book. I think you did. All right. This is crazy.
Oh God, and I'll say that shit to him. If your kid is bad and their grades are getting worse, tell them it's okay to beat them with your purse. Now, I don't condone hitting kids. I have to say that legally. But if I were you and you were me, I'd beat their ass repeatedly.
Damn.
Now, I love kids. Don't get it twisted and contorted. But some of these kids would, oh, no. Charlie, no. Bad babies turn into bad kids. Bad kids turn into bad teens. They want to dial 911. Hit them so hard they dial 919. Somebody come get them. Bad kids are the worst. I don't know what I've done to deserve this type of curse. I don't pray for kids to be good. I don't wish and I don't hope. But if they decide to be bad, they'll get 2 chops to the throat.
Hey, damn. If they decide to be bad, they're going to get 2 chops to the throat. So we got parents out here becoming ninjas and they karate chopping their kids in the throat. Oh my God.
Save yourself the pain. You don't have to worry about having a kid like what's his name.
Ooh.
Kids are the worst. If you don't have them, good luck to you. Man, fuck them kids. If you don't like it, then I guess fuck you too. Man.
Yo, somebody really wrote their thoughts into reality. I can't. They get away with it because they wrote it on a book. I can't, yo. They say if you don't like it, well then fuck you too. Yeah. We got young Riaz in the building. Blessings, young Riaz.
So they coming up with a new prison that allows inmates to serve years of their sentence.
Yo, we talked about this a little while back when we was talking about will the AIs benefit us, yo. And nobody paid attention. Now they paying attention. Now it's like these criminals that that are let loose. They're talking about they escaped. No, they really didn't, because they told us what they was going to do back in 2022 and 2023. And it's been happening since 2024. And it started happening exactly when they said it was going to happen, January 1st of 2024. But nobody paid attention until it started getting real bad now in 2025. But this has been talked about. When we started talking about the AIs, we went down that rabbit hole, right? Rabbit holes and real talk. This right here, they was already telling us they was doing this. So
they coming up with a new prison that allows inmates to serve years of their sentence in just a matter of minutes.
Yep.
So the criminals is going to have a choice to spend tens of years behind bars, or they can make the choice to get the artificial memory implanted into their brain. So this process is called Cognify. And the intent of it is to treat the criminal like a patient. They're going to try to change the person's brain chemistry. After this process, when they re-enter society, they will be new and reformed, and they won't even be capable of committing any other crime.
I mean, I bet if they're gonna sit here and implant a memory, like, what, they gonna erase their old memory and put a new memory in? Like, will they remember who they are, who they was? You see my point? I mean, hey, but I guess if they want to do it, they go through this little thingy and then boom, they out. But do they remember who they are?
The chip can make the patient feel empathetic. Depending on the severity of the crime, the chip can also make you feel the emotional and physical pain of the victim and the family members. You can feel what they felt. So the process only takes about 7 minutes. But to the patient, it seemed like it had been years. Last year, the U.S. government spent $8.7 billion taxpayers' dollars on the prison. They say with this new prison, they can save money for health care, education. Also, they feel that it will be so many. So they coming up with a new prison that allows inmates.
They're already doing the chip. They're doing all that. I mean, I think, what's crazy is, right, a lot of us is asking, right, are they throwing, all the celebrity gossip and all this stuff that's happening, with the celebrities in our face as a distraction? Yeah, that's why they're pushing it so much in our face, because what they're trying to do is, do this martial law thing, right? Everybody's so pressed, like, right now what's happening with the immigration and all that. What y'all not peeping is that they really want to put this martial law in place. They want to turn America into like these third world countries and shit like that, right? And if we don't pay attention and wake the fuck up fast and soon, hopefully it's not too late, which many say is too late, shit, they gonna make it happen. We're gonna be living the purge in real life, for real. Hey, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Right? But shit, the chips are already in place. Like, they got shows like the Black Mirror and all that telling us what they're going to do. Like, y'all think zombies is people that they bring back to life? Nah, man, we the zombies. The question is, will these inmates do it or not?
After 19.
How long I've been on here? All right, I got 20 more minutes. I hit a 2-hour mark on here.
Years of being an autism mom, here are 3 things that you must get used to. After 19 years of being an autism mom, here are 3 things that you must get used to. Number 1, get used to being embarrassed. Number 2, get used to being ostracized. And number 3, get used to being an advocate.
Yep.
Number 1, get used to being embarrassed. There are going to be times when your child says or does something, and all eyes are going to be on you. If you are a person with thin skin, this journey is going to be tougher for you than it needs to be. You got to practice not caring what anybody says or thinks about you. You got to practice being okay with being by yourself. And if that's something that is a struggle, start now. Start practicing now. Because you are going to be embarrassed. There's going to be times
my
when
computer
you don't get the invite. You and your child will not get invited to something. That could be something dealing with friends and or family. There also may be times where you seek out joining an autism support group with other parents. And believe it or not, even within some of those organizations, there's a hierarchy. There's cliques. There's my child does this and your child doesn't. I can remember taking JoJo to an event strictly for kids with autism. And I was around some of the other parents that were a part of this organization. In that conversation, we were sharing various things that our kids were doing. that were either embarrassing or something that was challenging for us to get over. And so I thought we were in the share circle. But I didn't get the memo that once I shared my experience, it was crickets. I said what I had to say, and then one parent was just like, oh, so yeah, so Brenda, what did you say Brian was doing? Like, it literally was as though I wasn't even there. In that moment, I just thought that it was funny that even in a group where everybody's child is on the spectrum somewhere, there's still this, you know, my child is better than yours. It's the whole high school mentality, you know, where you got the jocks and the cheerleaders and the, you know, the grunge kids and the chorus kids and all of this stuff. Everybody's kind of just like separated into their groups. It's very cliquey. So
that's a fact. And I don't understand why people do that. See, that's why I decided to raise my child with autism, right, as a regular kid. Because at the end of the day, right, you know how we was brought up, right? I'm not better than you. You see, you're not better than nobody. Nobody's better than you and all that stuff, right? What's crazy is nobody may be better than nobody in this world, right? But we could teach our kids how to behave good, how to behave right, all right? So there are parents out there that don't teach their kids nothing. It's even their kids with special needs, all right? So even in the world of, you know, parents with kids with special needs, yes, you got parents out there fighting, my kid is better than yours. I hate that, right? So I always teach my child, like, you know, don't ever think that you're better than anybody. Can you carry yourself better than the next person? Yeah. Can you behave yourself better than that person? But you don't have to prove it to nobody else but yourself. You see where I'm coming from? Like, if somebody thinks they're better than you, let them think they're better than you. You know what you're good at. Don't ever turn something petty, right, into something big, into something dramatic. Because, like, I feel as though, like, that's why when they told me you have to put, you should put your son in an all autistic school, right? I said no, because I'm not going to treat my child, right, like he is just part of a group, and he's not. I'm going to treat my child like he's me and you. I'm not going to make him think that he's special in any kind of way. Yeah, he's intelligent, he's smart, right? Because kids with autism are very smart, very intelligent, but they're also very easily manipulated. You see where I'm coming from? So I decided to sit here and instill the things that I was going to instill in my child. And he's 18 years old right now, and I've had a lot of people try to get in his head. No, listen, I know that he has his own world, but I made sure that he could survive out here in the world that me and you live in, because he's stuck in his world. No matter what I want to do, no matter how I want to look at it, you see where I'm coming from? People could paint me a pretty portrait of what my son's life could look like, but at the end of the day, it's bullshit, because I've seen shit around me. I've seen, you know, how these places look like. Like, I'm not just going to treat my child like he's, you know, something's wrong with him when there's nothing wrong with him. It's just that his reality and my reality with your reality is not the same. For example, me and you could joke around and laugh at a lot of jokes that are funny, but to him, he's not going to be able to tell the difference between a joke and sarcasm unless you enter his world. All right, they live in their own little world. And what's crazy is a lot of them is like walking human dictionaries. A lot of them learn, especially a lot of them that are in the Asperger's tier. All right. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear this shit, right? But at the end of the day, look, listen, man. We cannot keep treating our kids like they're retarded, like they're dumb when you're not. Just because they're autistic doesn't mean they're stupid. They're not like me and you. They really are. They grow up, they have kids, they can get jobs. They can do anything they put their minds to. Just like me and you. And I get tired of people saying, oh, my child's better than yours. Listen, what we going to do? Put our kids into a fucking competition and have them fighting all the time? Like, we don't have enough of that shit already amongst us.
When you don't have anything in common with people, then you find yourself being ostracized. So get used to loving being by yourself. I absolutely love my time alone. I know everybody is not like that, but I'm telling you, in this journey, you're gonna get uncomfortable. So,
and that's a fact, right? But it's a crazy journey having a child with autism, but I love my son no matter what. I may not agree with some of the choices he makes in life, but at the end of the day, I want him to learn. He needs to see for himself, because in his world, what I'm saying makes no sense unless he sees it. You know how they got people out here that don't believe in God, but they believe in the Bible. And I'm sitting here like, I'm confused, but okay. I don't believe in the Bible, but I believe in God. Now, if that's confusing, then let it be. I know that, something created us. What is it? I don't know. But in the process, I'm not going to lose myself trying to figure it out. It's my whole point. See where I'm coming from? So I know damn well I don't believe in the book. They're just stories. You learn from it. You get something out of it. But a lot of people dwell in it. All right. So me personally, I don't have a religion. It's like I tell people, I believe in God, nothing more, nothing less. So, to each his own. But I show my son, right, that just because he's autistic, it doesn't stop him from being who he wants to be and what he wants to do in life.
So you might as well start accepting it now and practicing now. If you know that you're the type of person that loves being around people, then you got to start trying to find moments where you can be by yourself and be okay with that. And number 3, the most important one, get used to being an advocate for your child.
Mm-hmm.
Your child didn't ask to be here. And I know that's so cliche, but it's true. Your child is going to teach you more about yourself than you could ever possibly teach them. They're here for a reason.
And that is so true. Because my child has taught me more about myself than anybody has ever taught me. Right? I mean, I've been through ups and downs with my son, right? And the crazy part about it is that when I had him, I was 17 years old. When I was pregnant of him, I was 16. You could practically say that me and him are growing up together. We're growing up with each other. I was a baby having a baby. All right. And no, I did not plan having a baby at 17, but it happened. I just don't believe in abortions. You see where I'm coming from? So on my own, by myself, I had to learn the things that I know now. I had to figure them out. I had to bump walls, right? And in the beginning, it was a little frustrating. But I decided to have this kid. He didn't ask to be here. I had the option to have an abortion. It was going to get paid for it. But no. Because at the end of the day, when I heard that heartbeat, I felt like I was killing another human. And that's not me. And that human grown inside of me, I love to death. I'll do anything. I'll give my last breath. I'll take a bullet. But now, even though as he's 18, I notice that I still have to be an advocate for my child no matter what. Because it's like what takes us a few months to learn, right? Whether it's from walking these trenches, right? From pain, from experience, it takes them a minute to realize, right? It takes them a minute to understand. We could figure it out like this, but because of the way they are in their world, it takes them a minute. And sometimes it seems like kids with autism have no emotions, no care in this world. And it's because, in their reality, things are different. A lot of them seem like they don't have no fear. They fear nothing. And it could be scary to a lot of people out here. But they do have feelings. What I mean by that, it may seem like they're heartless, but they're not. They're there. And especially for the ones that show them love and care. The ones that show them, they'll give them anything. Like, mother or father. Or somebody that's there with them. But if you're showing them, right, and letting them be them, letting them show you that they could, be a normal person in this world, they will give you 10 times the love than what you've given them. It's like having a child with schizophrenia. All right, and it's crazy as shit. To some, it may be scary, but not to a mother.
Depending on where you are in your journey, you probably don't even want to hear that. You are their voice. You've been chosen to be their voice. It's when you're advocating for your child, you kind of got to know what you're talking about. You don't have to be an expert on everything, but I'll give you a prime example. So JoJo was having reoccurring ear infections, and I had taken him to a new pediatrician. He came highly recommended, and he was nice enough until we had the situation with the ear infections. So he had prescribed him an antibiotic for the first one, and then it came back, and then he gave him another antibiotic, and then it came back, and then that third time he prescribed an antibiotic, and his office was set up to the point where he was such a popular pediatrician that he was, you know, always moving so fast. Nice, but I'm not here for nice. I'm here to be helped. And I remember taking that third prescription for antibiotic. I left the doctor's office, dropped JoJo off at my mom's house because I wanted to have a conversation with the doctor, but I needed to be by myself. So I called the doctor's office and said, hey, you know, if you don't mind giving the doctor a message, I'd like to speak to him about the prescription that he gave us earlier. Well, you're always going to have the gatekeepers. Well, I don't know if he'll be able to call today. Is this an emergency? Well, yeah, it's an emergency. It's an emergency. So, long story short, he called after his last patient. And I remember sitting in that parking lot, and he and I had a 45-minute conversation. And in that conversation, I asked questions because I had done some research, and I wanted to see what his response to me would be. And one of the things I did ask him was, if this was your child, would this be how you would handle this? And I know he was shocked that I asked him that, but needless to say, JoJo had to have tubes in his ear after that conversation. That was successful. You know, we did well with the tubes. And when we went back to the doctor after JoJo's procedure, he invited me into his office. So now I'm in his office, and before I was a part of this system of get you in, get you out in 10 minutes, right? Now he's invited me into his personal office, and we're just having conversation. And he asked me, was I in the medical field? And I was just like, no. And from that moment on, going forward, every appointment thereafter, we had a beautiful relationship because I advocated for my child. And you have to do the same. So these are my 3 things that you've got to get used to.
And she's not lying, man. As a proud mother, right, of a child with autism, right, and I grew up with my child, all right, you are always going to have to advocate for your child, all right. And what's crazy, right, there's a lot of parents out here that would treat their child like their child can't do nothing and stuff like that. And then, you know, their child grows up depending on social workers. No, we cannot do that, right? I've taught my son with autism, right? Like, listen, I grew up in Girl Scouts, all right? So practically when it came to my son, I mean, I taught him everything. Like, we've done campfires when he was younger. I've taught him how to cook, even though he prefers to use the microwave because of his hands sometimes. Like, if y'all don't know, sometimes kids with autism, their motor skills ain't that good. All right. So my son is intelligent, but his motor skill when it comes to his hand, like when writing, is not good and stuff like that. But other than that, everything else he's good at, like computers, technology, all that, he's really good at. But I talk to my son. You know, me and him have conversations like if we're regular people. Sometimes he'd be lost in the sauce, and you know, I give him a minute. I'm like, you know what? Think about what I said, right? And then when it's time to have a mother-son conversation, I ask him again, and to try to get him to like think and remember the things that we've talked about before, so he don't forget about it, because he's going to need them. And I always tell him, look, listen, remember, tomorrow's never promised, and you never know if I'm going to be here tomorrow, if I'm going to be here the next day. All right. So I always want to make sure that he knows how to depend on himself, not on other people. I need him to be independent, right? Especially with his condition, because they think that kids with autism are retarded, stupid, they can't do this, they can't do that, right? But in reality, right, they don't just have a high IQ. These kids learn things so fast that it's not a joke. In their memory, oh man, I can't listen. The best thing I can tell you is that I am a proud mother of a child with autism. All right. And I'm going to always advocate for him as long as he needs.
In a world of his own, Berwin shines bright. Autism won't define him. He's a radiant light. His big heart and smarts make me beam with pride. A blessing of love, my son by my side. Living in his own world, yet so real and true. Berwin's uniqueness is a gift I cherish through. Autism may be a part, but not all he'll be known for. His potential and love are what I adore. Every day I show him the world beyond his view, teaching him that his worth is always true. Berwin, my firstborn, with autism, you're smart and kind, a beautiful soul that forever shines. Son, I want you to know that no matter where you're at, you're always going to be a part of my heart. And regardless of anything, as a mother, I have to teach you life lessons. Regardless of anything, I'm going to love you. I'm going to cherish you. And I know that later on in the future, you're going to take the right path. You have to bump your head to see what reality is. And as a mother, trust me, I'm always going to be waiting here with open arms. Like, there's nothing in this world that could get me mad at you, that can make me hate you. A mother's love forever will be there.
A mother's love is unconditional, right? And I always tell people that our kids sometimes, right, are the teachers and we are the students. As time goes by, as time passes by, our kids teaches us not how to raise them, but teaches us, how can I say, teaches us a lot of things about them, right? What they like, what their fears are, how to take care of them, right? How, what makes them cry, what makes them happy, what their favorite color is, what their favorite foods is. You see where I'm coming from? As time goes by, these kids are the ones teaching you how to be a parent, because none of us was given a manual when we gave birth. All right. So all we could do is, teach our kids, advocate for our kids, whether they are in the spectrum or not. As parents, that is our job. All right, so we've hit the 2-hour mark. All right, guys. I doubt anybody's going to hit a link. So, man, I'm going to get off this, John. I'm going to see what's popping. I'm going to lay down for a little bit. It's Sunday morning, man. I don't know if y'all going to go out there and be productive, but I would say go ahead, man. It's going to be a nice, beautiful day. If you haven't signed your child up for a summer program, do so. All right. Have your kids off these corners. Find something that they could do, right? Instead of letting them be out here, becoming a menace to society. But with that being said, guys, man, until next time, this y'all Shorty Rachel. I hope all of y'all have a blessed and humble day. Continue to have a blessed and humble day, and I'll see y'all later on tonight.